Hey YouTube, it's your girl Trinity. Welcome back to my channel. So, I just had to come on here and give you guys another recap of a Catfish episode that I absolutely just screamed at. It was such a wow, and I was so strucken by it. It was just crazy. So I decided, I was like, I gotta make a video on it. And the last recap I did for Catfish was Kiana and Bow Wow. So if y'all have not seen that, then go ahead and check it out. The link is obviously down below in the description. Let's get started. Alright, so last night's episode was a she. I don't really exactly know. I'm gonna just say he. So, Antwan had met this guy 3 years ago named Tony. And Tony did not want to send him any pictures. Tony did not call him or text him. He only called once a day. Okay. And then also, no phone number, no Facebook, no Instagram. Of course, I'm like, what? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? But let's see. How it all really started was when his cousin, Carmen, had emailed Neve and Max, and they had went on and they had saw that, the subject was, my cousin is getting catfished. Whoa. That should have been a little ring right there that it says, my cousin is getting catfished. How do you know he getting catfished if you technically don't know if this person named Tony that he is talking to is real or fake. So how can you say he getting catfished? That should have been number one. They should have been questioning that. Number two, when they went to Carmen seemed a little suspicious. She kind of was acting like that girl from last season that was catfishing her friend, that he thought he was talking to the teen beauty pageant winner. Okay. So, the story continued where they did a little research with the phone number that they were given by Antwan, the only phone number that he remembered years ago from Tony, and they came across a lady named Diana Thomas, and she was on the phone record, when they did the phone research. And, well, first of all, let's go ahead and rewind real quick. They did a phone research, and it came up as unknown. Then they Googled the phone number, and it came up as Diana Thomas. So, they saw that she was related to some relatives, and it was such a coincidence that one of her relatives was named Anthony Thomas, which aka Tony. So since Antwan did not know the last name of Tony, they assumed his last name was Thomas. So they did some research on that name by Anthony Thomas, and then they came across a mugshot. This threw me for a loop because I really thought this person was in prison. Considering the fact that a lot of prison phone numbers come up as private, considering the fact that it was named Anthony Thomas, he was arrested around the time that Antwan and Anthony met, around that time that he met Antwan. And then on top of it, he calls once a day, and it's normally at night. Okay? I was like, what? What is going on? So, what happened was, after that, they kind of got, suspicious. They thought this person was in prison, and that they didn't know when this person got out, this and that. But if you think back, that was October 2011. So, whatever that person did, if he was still in prison in 2014, woo, what did he do? So, they went on to continue, and they found out that Tony, coincidentally, did not call Antwan the previous night. That was another suspicious factor of me, and I thought, you know what, maybe he's in prison, he didn't get the chance to call, and he got a construction job, which is a lot of prison workers' jobs, is construction. So, it was a little funny to me that Antwan all of a sudden did not call the previous night. So that was another little thing with me that I was like, huh? What's going on? Me and my mom was watching this episode, and we was all we was seriously trying to figure this out, because I like to figure these things out before it even happens. So they continued their little research, and they had 3 different addresses. So they decided to go ahead and go to those 3 addresses. First of all, y'all is in the hood, it looked like. So why is y'all going to 3 random addresses knocking on doors? Neve, I'm sorry, but you crazy. You locking on 3 different doors that you don't know who gonna answer. Like the first guy said when he's like, no, you got the wrong door. He said the thing twice. Okay? He got the wrong door, and he started acting like he wasn't gonna move on. I would have did what Antwan said. Hey, they could come out with a gun. We better leave. But nah, that wasn't enough for Neve. You know, as his job, Catfish, taken too far, he went to the second address, and then a lady who happened to have a name of Thomas answered the door. So of course my mom and I thinking maybe she know more and she's not telling them. I was thinking they need to go back to that second address when nothing was happening at the third, because apparently that person got evicted or whatever. So that really threw me for a loop, because I'm thinking maybe that man who got arrested lived there. He got evicted because he'd been in prison. But it didn't make sense when he said that it was like a month's notice. So then afterwards, I got confused because I didn't hear what Antwan and his cousin Carmen said that made Antwan so pissed off, and it went to commercial. So I was confused when it went to commercial. I'm thinking, what is going on? What did he say? And then, I recorded the thing, so, I didn't rewind it. I should have, but I didn't know what was going on. The moment I knew what was going on, that Carmen was the one that catfished him, was the moment Carmen and Max was talking, and Max had asked Carmen, hey, what's the voice you use for him? You could prove to us that you was Tony. Because I was confused a little while ago that Antwan said there was no Tony. I'm over here thinking maybe Antwan catfished them. Thinking that, oh, well, maybe he know that there is no Tony, but he making this up in his head. Hey, I don't know. I'm confused at this point. So that's when all of a sudden she threw on that Tony voice that they had show earlier, that they had played earlier. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's Tony. I'm over here with my mama screaming at the TV, wondering what in the heck is going on. Why would you catfish your cousin? That's messed up. For 3 years, and you want to go to his house and act like you his best friend? What kind of psychotic is you? Okay? I'm like, me and my mom was just like completely lost at that point. We was like, what is going on? Honestly, who does that to their supposed best friend and their family member, your cousin? You don't do that. Family is first. So at this point, I was pissed. I was like, Carmen, are you crazy? And then she went on to say something about, oh, I was doing it for fame. He made fun of me, calling me a fat Kelly Price. Excuse me? You gonna go ahead and catfish him in front of the whole national television, risking to lose your best friend and your cousin over some you Kelly Price facts. That got me heated at that point. So, she went on to talk about, oh, so, yeah, I did it. I got him catfished. He embarrassed me in front of a whole bunch of people, so I'm going to go ahead and embarrass him. Girl, go sit down somewhere. Please go sit down somewhere. Because you're crazy. You did not embarrass him in front of the world. The whole world felt bad for him. They sure did. Because I know I did. You catfished yourself and you made yourself look stupid. They ended pretty much by, it went on commercial break, and then he went home. He didn't want to talk. He just, and I felt for him. My whole heart just went out to him at that point. And so finally they went to Carmen's house and talked to her. At that point, I understood why Neve was upset. And it pissed me off even more that the producers was over here talking about you ruining your show. Excuse me? Is you defending Carmen? And then they got the nerve to make Neve apologize? No, Neve had the right to get upset. Okay? They just wasted their time. They wasted their money and their effort. Okay? They did not need to come and film this episode. But the fact that it happened, I would have been pissed too. And the producers had no right to do what they did. And then on top of it, Carmen got the nerve to give this sob story, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I zoned out at that point because I had no clue. I didn't care what she said. The point that she catfished her cousin for 3 years is messed up. Okay? I thought it was messed up last season when that girl did her best friend wrong when she was over here Talking about she hit her all-time low, so I had to do what I had to do to get her out of it. Oh, girl, bye. So, anyways, I was pissed at that point. I just zoned out, and I felt for him. And then they took him out, and they talked to him, and he had said that he wanted nothing to do with his cousin, and they didn't understand why. Hello? Your cousin and your best friend just catfished you for 3 years? Yeah, I don't want to talk to you either. And then the update was that he didn't talk, that he, had no contact the first couple days or whatever. After that was no contact. Yeah, I wouldn't want to contact you either. Like, no contact whatsoever the first couple days or not. No contact whatsoever. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and end this by saying this catfish season is obviously getting better and better because the first episode was alright, but this one, oh, and it was just the second episode. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of more recaps after this one. Alright, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye!